Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Brass Ass Podcast. I am your host, Suitcase Ace, and I got a good one here for you today. I'm going to talk about, we got some good coaches, and then we got some coaches that do not know their ass from a hole in the ground. So today on the Brass Ass Podcast, folks, I'm going to talk about things, good hockey coaches look for in a player. And, as we all know, the priority of every hockey player, folks, should be developing the skills that are the foundation of the game. Skating, passing, shooting, and positioning. But most coaches, the good coaches, are looking for more than just the technical ability. Players must also work to develop those intangible qualities, yes, that will help them improve their skills, work with their coaches, and gel with their teammates. But I'm going to tell you something. It's most often that a player's basic standard qualities, rather than the on-ice skills, that really separate them from the pack. Good coaches, folks, are always looking for those players who are willing to work harder to improve, take direction well, and serve as role models for their teammates. So here are my top basic standard intangibles when I evaluate a player. Number one on the top, folks, is coachability. Good coaches are also good teachers, and they value the players who listen and take direction well. And the players who are eager to learn, who can take advice and then apply it, and who are willing to play how the coach has asked them to play are more likely to end up on the ice at game time. Because those players who think they know better than the coach or just want to play the way they like to play will often stay on the bench more than their skills warrant. The good coach, I'm telling you folks, is there to help each player improve, to help the team, right? As a whole, play better hockey, which hopefully translates to wins. And if you work hard to be a good student and, let's say, implement the coach's vision of how you should play, the chances are good that your diligence will be rewarded. So the next on my list is the strong work ethic. Any good coach, folks, expects his or her players to put in the work during practice. But a player who shows willingness to go that extra mile will always catch the coach's eye. The work that a player does outside of practice truly won't go unnoticed. Okay, for instance, if your coach somehow comments on something you need to work on, and then you do the work and show improvement, the coach will they'll know that you're working hard and you could be counted on in the future. And it also shows you're as committed to your progress as your coach is, and that shared goal, folks, is a strong predictor of future success. So your on ice work ethic is also important as your off ice work ethic. And coaches love a player who always gives 100%, grinding it out in the corners, back checking hard, and covering for teammates, even when the game isn't on the line. And as we all know, folks, hockey, yes, it is a fast-paced, exhausting sport. And it's tempting sometimes to take shortcuts or dial back the intensity. But listen here, if you're coasting, floating, meaning doing a lot of nothing during your shift, your coach will notice. I notice, and I remember. Trust me, I do. Next on my list, folks, with a player is character. You got to have those character players, right? You do. Character is all about making the right choices, and it's important both on and off the ice. Trust me. And there's 6 key essential components of good character. There's integrity, honesty, loyalty, self-sacrifice, accountability, and self-control. Okay. A player who demonstrates these character traits, folks, will earn the respect of coaches and their teammates. And truly, by serving as an example to others, a player with good character can help make the whole team stronger, which is something any coach will value. And you know what? Reliability is another one. Because as a coach, I want to know that I can depend on you, right? That I can trust you. You know, do you show up for practice and game on time? Are you ready to do your job on and off the ice? Because I'll tell you something, folks. Coaches, good coaches, don't like to be disappointed, nor do they like surprises. Now, you know, players who do what they say they'll do and who follow directions well are like gold, right? I'm telling you, they really are, because they allow a coach to focus on hockey itself. Okay, I hope you're taking this all in, because the next one is leadership. Because coaches, you know, they can't play the game, right? Or be with their team, you know, 24 hours a day. Having players whom they can count on to be leaders on and off the ice is so important. It truly is. When the team is down by a goal with a few minutes left, will you start snipping at your teammates, or will you rally them? And on the night before an important game, are you going to a party? Are you staying up late? You know, or will you make sure that everyone gets to bed early? What kind of leader are you, right? Because I'll tell you something, good leadership is also important at practice. Pre-game warm-ups. When you go to the pre-game warm-up with your team in their rink somewhere, it just takes one or two, you know, toxic players jerking around that screw up the minds and the mental thinking of the game. So the pre-game warm-up is so important to you and your team, right? And this goes on into the locker room. This is not just to say that a team just has one leader, folks, right? No, in fact, the role can change from situation to situation. Trust me, it can. You know, if you can demonstrate that you've got leadership qualities, folks, your coach will have, well, definitely more confidence for you. You know, and I really want to express to all the players out there at all ages, as you work on becoming a better player, you need to focus on these intangibles and these basic standard rules of what you'd be as a good hockey player, right? As much as you work on your skating, stick handling, and everything else. Your goal should be to become a complete hockey player, one whom a coach can count on and turn to when the going gets tough. So that's what I'm looking for in a player when I evaluate a player, and what I expect of my players in the regular season and taking this deep. Yes, folks, I am your host, Suitcase Ace, and you just listened to the Brass Ass Podcast, folks. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm telling you, after you listen and watch, you got to share it, right? Yes. Today, you have just listened to the rest of the story.